John here from Great Lakes Country, and today we're making a very simple but delicious Spanish-inspired side dish called Butler Potatoes. Originally a side dish that came from Spain, apparently the English translation of the name of this dish is Butler Potatoes. And my understanding is that they're called that because they look and taste very fancy, like a butler would have served them to you. But the name's a little bit misleading because they're incredibly simple to make. One of the easier potato side dishes to cook, in my opinion. Everything happens in one skillet on the stove. We're just throwing some things in there in a certain order and letting it all cook until the potatoes are tender. So no long intro today, let's get right into it and make these amazing Butler potatoes. First, some prep work. We'll start by getting 2 shallots very thinly sliced. Next, 4 cloves of garlic, either finely minced or crushed through the old garlic press. Then a little fresh herbs, starting with some Italian parsley. Yeah, I know this is a Spanish dish, but Italian parsley works and looks a little better. We'll just give it all a good chop. We want to end up with just a little more than 1/3 cup. And we're gonna need a little finely chopped fresh chives to garnish at the end. Alternatively, you could use some green onion. Lastly, we need to deal with our potatoes. For this dish, you don't want to use something super starchy like a russet. You want to lean more towards the waxy sort of variety. And in these parts, this time of year, our options for that are pretty much something like a Yukon Gold or a Redskin potato. Well, I don't think Redskins are quite right for this dish, so that leaves us with Yukon Gold or similar. So I've got 3 pretty decent sized Yukon Golds. I've been seeing some awfully small Yukon Golds lately at the stores. Managed to find myself some that were a little on the larger side. That's gonna work great for this. And for this recipe, we are going to peel these Yukon Golds. In a lot of dishes, and for a lot of purposes, you don't really need to. It's one of the beauty parts of a Yukon Gold, but it just works a little better, looks a little better in this particular dish if we do go ahead and peel them. But just take a minute. And then we're just slicing them up. I'll cut a little bit off the end just to give myself a nice flat surface here. And then we're slicing about a 1/4 inch thick. Something about like that is perfect. Maybe that's a little more than a 1/4 inch, but that's about what I'm looking for. And as soon as these are sliced up, they're going into a bowl with some cold water just to sit until I'm ready for them again. Keeping them covered in some water will prevent them from turning brown between now and when I'm actually gonna cook them. All right, here we are over at the stove, and I've got my pretty big, deep-walled skillet heating up over about medium heat. And I'm gonna get a tablespoon of butter in there so it can start melting, along with about a tablespoon of olive oil. And once that butter's melted and the oil's all nice and hot, in go my thinly sliced shallots. And I'm just gonna let these start cooking down a little bit for maybe about a minute. Get them all nicely coated in the butter and oil. We wanna keep this heat about medium, maybe medium high. Don't wanna go too hot. These shallots are gonna cook pretty fast. We definitely don't wanna risk burning them. And after about a minute, we'll then add in that minced garlic. And just keep cooking for about another minute or 2. Again, we definitely don't want to let that garlic burn, so just keep it moving around, keep an eye on it, keep it over medium heat. And when those are all looking good, we're gonna add in a 1/2 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper. Get all that thoroughly mixed together. We'll cook about another minute. Then we're adding in 1/3 cup of that chopped up Italian parsley. Get that all stirred in and let everything cook for about 1 more minute. Now we're pouring in 2 cups of whole milk. Give all that a quick stir, and then we're just gonna let all of this come up to a pretty low simmer. And as soon as I see that milk starting to simmer a little bit, I'll turn my heat down to as low as possible. And now we're gonna start adding in those potato slices. Pretty much add about as many as will fit in this pan and still be covered or pretty much covered by some of that milk. It's okay if some of the edges are overlapping a little bit. And usually when I do this with this pan, I can fit about 2.5 of these Yukon Golds in here. All right, so that's looking pretty good to me. Now I'm just gonna let this sit here and cook on pretty low heat. Obviously those cold potatoes brought the temperature of the milk down. That'll come back up, reach a very, very low simmer, And we're just letting it cook for 30 minutes or until those potatoes are feeling very tender but not falling apart. In that time, some of this milk and sauce will reduce some, thicken up. It's exactly what we want. So we'll just keep an eye on it and come back in about 30 minutes. And here we are halfway through at about the 15-minute mark. Everything's looking good. We've got a very low simmer bubbling away. So we just gotta go about another 15 minutes. And in 30 minutes, we're in really good shape. Our potatoes are tender, but still have some structure to them. So I think it's time we plate this up and finish these Butler potatoes. And there's not a ton of standing sauce and liquid left in that pan, but there is a little, so I think we need to spoon some of that over top. Now, just a couple final touches. We've got lots of parsley cooked right into this, so we don't necessarily need to add any more of that. But we do need a couple little things to make this plate of potatoes just perfect. First, just a light dusting of some good old paprika, followed by a little fresh cracked black pepper, and finally a sprinkling of those chopped up chives. And that right there is a beautiful looking side dish that was so much easier to make than this final product makes it look like it was. So now there's nothing left to do but dig in and have a taste. And I've decided I want this entire slice of potato that was right on top, that's got all of the garnish and the paprika and everything on it, because, well, it looked like the tastiest bite of the whole plate. On second thought, there's no way I'm fitting this whole thing into my mouth. I'm cutting it in half. I've got a rare condition known by the medical community as small mouth. Anyway. Perfectly seasoned, just looks so pretty with the little paprika on there and that sort of reduced milk, creamy sauce on top. Tender potatoes, a creamy sauce, some fresh herbs, a little seasoning. What more could you want out of a potato side dish? There's really not a lot to say about this recipe except you should try making it. I really like this one in the summer because you don't even need to turn on your oven like you would for a lot of the normal potato side dishes that we might have for dinner, at least in this part of the world. I love a potato au gratin and a scallop potato and a baked potato and all other manner of potatoes, but you really can't beat a delicious creamy potato dish that all comes together in a single pan on the stovetop. Anyway, if you want to see the full written out recipe for this Butler potato dish, well, I'll put a link to it in the video description below. In the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe and stay up to date with all our latest stuff, including future cooking videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm John, and this is Great Lakes Country.